YouTube. Let's refresh this. All right, we are live and direct. Let's go into it. We looking like we're gonna play puts today. Oh man, I missed my secondary leg down. Okay, we got a bounce coming off of 410.66. That's a level right here. You guys see we have as support, followed by Caleb zone. So that makes this put play now much more risky because we have a Caleb zone and support level right near it. When it first broke this level up here, is when I should have jumped into the put and played this range. I would have been getting out as soon as we touched 410.66. But that is not the case right now. So now I have to look at volume. Let me see what the volume looks like. Is it intense volume this morning? Yeah, we got heavy volume. Consumer sentiment is bad. Alright, so let's look at action from yesterday. We were pushing, we kept finding support in this area, and then we bounced back up to this 413 range. We found support in that area. Let's look on the 1 hour chart. How many times we bounced off of this range right here. We never got any lower than 409.22 over the last week. So doesn't look like a put would be the best play, but momentum says a put is the best play. But momentum said put was the best play early this morning as well. So let's give it till about 10:30 to see if we want to make this trade or not. If we get good recovery, if we could hold above this 411.53 level, I'll jump into a call. If we get a recovery back up to this level, but we close below and we start rejecting again, I'll jump into the put and look to break that 410.66 level on the next leg down. So that is the play of the day. Let's watch that. See what we get. Microsoft is going to start taking off because that Activision deal is going through. Happy for that. Long-term Microsoft holder here. Yes, 311. Very nice. Let's put some new levels in on Microsoft. We're on the weekly chart right now. So let's put a level in. We seems like we have a level right around here. got another level right around here. And then we have another weekly level right up about here. All right. So 318.55 is the next target price I have. Actually, let me bring this down some. That's too high. Right about there. It should be right there. So 314.46. It's going to be another resistance. And then we'll have this bottom line right here. 323.45. Alright, so Microsoft is pushing away. It has a little pullback resistance right now, but the Activision deal going through is major. That's been in the works for over a year now. But that's good for them inside the video game entertainment market. Activision has a lot of good names under its trademark. So Bitcoin Cash prepares for upgrade. Let's see what they're talking about here. Bitcoin BRC20 tokens. Let's look up BRC20 tokens. Let's see what that's all about. So these are the results from the day. Let me post this into the Discord first. The building permits report tomorrow could be a little bit weaker than expected, especially sales came in. Showing that the powerful, strong consumer is starting to weaken. Okay. Let's make this bold. I keep forgetting to do that. Let's say day 516, right? All right, that is done. Update put in. Oh, let me share this Twitter space with the Discord. Congrats. Alright. Let's go back to our levels. Look at that rejection off of 410. See, that's why I didn't get in that put. I knew we may have a bounce right there. But that's a strong bounce. That's good. If we couldn't do an engulfing candle here, that's a bullish sign. But not a lot of sell orders have come in yet, so this could just be a fake out bounce. Now would probably be a time I will grab a put, honestly. Honestly, 100%, because this is the range I was going to grab a put in before and play the pullback. Let's see how much it keeps pushing up though. We got 250,000 buys with no sale orders really coming in yet. I'm gonna jump in on a light play right here. Dollar cost average into this put. Let's go. We gotta be quick with the fingers, fast fingers when you put the orders in. Some people like trading off the computer. I think trading off the phone is easier. The computer is just, it's too much going on. I like the computer for the indicators and tracking stocks, but as far as the trading, just the phone comes across easier to me. So we're gonna do 6-day contract, nothing super volatile, and we're gonna do the 410s. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I got, the 410s. 410s, let's see the order execute. 410, May 22nd expirations. Gotta alert the people, gotta let the people know. Let me see, make sure no one's talking to me in the chat over here. Oh, that's in my space. I'm in my space right now. I'm live right now. All right. Let's keep it pushing. Did my order execute? I'm gonna be so mad if my order still hasn't. Get me in the position. It's gonna execute in a second. Hopefully we don't have a crazy pullback and then I don't get my order executed. Ah, shit. All right. Microsoft still facing that resistance. Let's see what Apple's doing. Apple is catching support from its level I have for it right here. Let's get the zoom in. I don't know why. Let's just use this zoom thing. Alright, so this is Apple on the weekly. Let's go to the 15-minute. Alright. This is what Apple, this is the level Apple's playing with today. This is the range we're in. Let's make this larger. Goodness gracious. Alright. Down volume. Gotta stretch this out some. Alright. Let's see, 411.53, if it's gonna break back through. Heavy buy orders coming in now. Bum bum. Let's turn on CNBC and see what they're talking about. Look at that. Home Depot right there on the front page, as I said. Home Depot, poor outlook means for the stock and economy, stock market and economy. It means that if Home Depot continues with a poor outlook, it means our building permits and construction must be slowing down.
Some competitive pressure there, but in general, it's been primarily flat. The bigger concern for me is in labor. Labor, skilled labor specifically, is still in high demand, and as a result, it's continuing to increase. That's where our focus has been, trying to help remove labor from the job site for our customers. Our deliveries post-pandemic are back to where they were pre-pandemic. We have 96+% of our deliveries go out in full and complete with one trip to the job site. During the pandemic, that might have been 3 or 5 trips. Where our value-added products also come into play, we deliver those to the job site ready to install, and that also helps reduce labor for our customers.
Really interesting color there, Dave. Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for the time.
Builders First Source CEO.
Really interesting. Coming up after the break, the road ahead for Tesla as it gears up for its annual shareholder meeting today. Why our next guest thinks the stock can get to 250. We'll discuss that call when we come back in a moment.
To 250, huh? Yes, Tesla does have their shareholder meeting today. I definitely have to alert the group to that. Let's see. First of all, I gotta finish this alert. SPY 410 puts with the May 22nd expiration. Very short play. Very short play. You want to tell them our take profit is going to be at 408.80. Shit, I might not even have time to alert this. I might have to get out this play right now. If we keep pushing like this is crazy. Crazy reversal. Yeah, it looks like we're about to keep pushing. I'm going to do a quick pivot because the puts are down already 10%. So I'm just going to get out that play. And we're going to jump right into the calls. That's one thing about the market. When it tells you something, just listen. You could face resistance right here in this Caleb zone, but this heavy reversal in volume, you don't typically see that unless you're going to be pushing back the opposite direction. If we were going to keep pushing down, the selling volume would have kept coming in heavy. I think this initial pull down was a reaction to the reports. And now we got the recovery bounce coming in right here. So we're going to use that same capital. We lost $50. You win some, you lose some. But you live. You live to fight another day. Remember that from Friday? That's how you got to be in stocks. You can't go out there and get killed trying to be stubborn in the play. You got to be able to reverse course. So we're going to reverse course and we're going to play this up to the 413.05 level. Okay, so we're going to get the 413 call. So we're going to be in the 413 call right here. Yeah, I expected that rejection. As soon as we touched the Caleb zone, I felt like we would reject some. But if we engulf again, then that just lets me know I'm not going to trade today. Because that means that price action holds no consistent direction. And we're going to just be chopping. So this candlestick should not re-engulf that green candlestick. It could pull back down to this 411.50 area, and we could get a bounce off of that. But that support should hold, and we should continue to push up with that momentum reversal. Unless we're going to produce two engulfing candles. Three engulfing candles. Yeah, back to back to back. Because we did one this morning. Had to push up, engulf back down, push down. Now push up. If this engulfs back down, then that would be crazy. But this Caleb zone is strong resistance to the upside. So you got to be careful in this area. This is a very tight range you're playing in. That's why we've been in this range for how many days now? We've been in this range now. I consider this is when we entered it right here. And we've been inside this range since then. And that was on April 3rd. April 3rd we entered this range. Pretty much, we weren't really breaking 408 too many times. We broke it twice, but really bounced right back up. So between 408.80 and I would say the 413.62 level 413.85 on the high side. So 4,880 to 413.80 is the tight range we've been playing within. So it's not really giving us much these last few days as far as price action or movement. And it could be hard to trade in that environment. But we're going to stick with our call right here and look forward to catch support at this level and keep pushing back up. I got to put in this inside the Discord. Let me see who joined the chat. What's good, bro? G, you can hear me? No. Something wrong with my volume on my phone?
Shalom.
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro? Come on, let me get you plugged up. I jumped in some calls just now. And of course, now the market want to try to do these crazy engulfing candles. But, you know, play the short stop loss. And if
going to a heavy candles on around 12:10.
You going into a what?
I said it's about to go into a heavy candles on at 12:10.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at for 12:10. It rejected off of that again. It just bounced back down off of that after that crazy engulfing candle. Because I jumped into a put early, and then we got this crazy reversal candle off the 410.66 level. But it had heavy volume behind it. It was like, where the hell all these buyers come from? So I'm watching. I'm trying to see if they're going to keep us in this tight ass range here, then I'll get out this trade. Like if we pull back down to 410.66, I'm going to get out this trade and I'll be done for the day. Because I'm not playing the ping pong game between 410.66 and the Caleb zone all day. That range is too small. I don't like playing ranges like that. Tesla has its annual shareholders meeting today. That's going to be big.
What time?
Let me see what time it starts. I don't know what time it starts, but you can see Tesla pushing today.
Apple just crossed over to the red. I might put a market down a bit because my Apple marked down.
Oh, Apple. Let me see if Apple broke a support level.
Microsoft doing its own thing.
Yeah, Microsoft is pushing because the Activision deal went through in Europe.
Ooh, so the other day, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming said, we lost the gaming wars. I gotta admit, we lost the gaming wars. Because, Nintendo Switch, them boys sold 110 million copies.
Nintendo killed that.
Yeah, Nintendo won by far. They sold 110 million copies. PlayStation sold 35 million copies. Motherfucking Xbox only sold 21 million. But a lot of people saying it's because of everybody's exclusive games, right? And I don't really think so. That's the case with Sony, because Sony exclusive games ain't really popping like that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's really Nintendo exclusive games that really got it. But the thing is, this Activision deal, Microsoft claimed last year when they started going into this deal that, hey, we're not going to make Call of Duty Xbox exclusive. But I don't see how they don't do that shit after losing the wars all these years, because all they had was Halo.
Yeah.
Now they have Halo and Call of Duty, bro. They could shut down shop if they want to.
You think they're going to do that?
I don't know. I think Sony kind of knew that. That's why they allowed. Sony's the one that allowed crossplay a couple years ago.
Okay.
I think that's kind of them appeasing to the alligator that they knew was about to happen.
Okay. Well, I think that if Activision continues to, well, I gotta sell these calls. If Activision continues to make exclusive license shit for his games, then I could see that because of Call of Duty. And Activision have, what other games Activision have? I have to think about their game catalog, that what they have underneath them.
Call of Duty's gonna be so hard in the fucking metaverse.
Yeah, that's
Imagine Call of Duty once they attach Unreal Engine 6.0 or some shit to it.
That's what I'm saying. The Unreal Engine is what I like about Activision. Right. I know they got tight connections with that, because isn't the Activision part of, like, I want to say like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that? Maybe not. I know Unreal Engine is.
Who owns Unreal Engine?
Unreal Engine, I thought they were their own company. Let me look.
Where they just lease out their technology, right?
Yeah. Because I know there's the Metaverse project I was in has Unreal Engine sponsoring them.
Niggas not gonna leave their crib once they get the game with that shit.
Yeah, that's the main reasons why I like this Metaverse project that I was in.
It's gonna be real crazy.
Unreal Engine. Yeah, it seems like they're their own company. I don't see them being owned by anybody. Epic Games. Epic Games develops Unreal Engine.
What you said?
Epic Games.
Epic Games?
Yeah.
Found it.
Yeah, Epic Games is who owns them.
Owners Tim Sweeney, Tencent owns it. So the Nike movie, you should watch it.
Alright, I'm gonna check that out. With the Jordan movie?
Yeah, real good movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. For sure.
You know, real in depth with Phil Knight and the other executives in Nike around that time. It really has nothing to do with Jordan. It's more about Nike.
Yeah, I figured that.
The business side of it.
Yeah.
The whole movie, they don't show Jordan's face at all.
I was gonna say they probably don't even show Jordan in the movie. They probably didn't want to pay him.
The nigga got like 10 scenes, no faces, no face.
They don't want to pay for his likeness. That's probably what it was.
Right.
Too much. Cut into the budget too much. Paying for his likeness.
It was a really good movie, though. I ain't gonna lie.
We're making a higher low right now on the, considering from yesterday to today so far, from where we bounced at. Where we bounced yesterday, we pulled down a little bit lower yesterday before we bounced up.
10.23.
Yesterday we pulled down to 410.23. Yeah. Today we ain't get that low. Today we at 410.73. So if that's gonna be the low for the day, I don't know. That's what I'm looking. I'm gonna see. As long as we don't break 410.73, I'm staying in these calls. I'm staying in. Ain't gonna shake me out this play. Especially with things like they pushing up. Tesla's pushing up. Let me look at Apple. You said Apple pushed down. Apple should find support at 171.52. It could bounce off of that level. Yeah, Microsoft's on a tear, man. Microsoft's taking off.
That's what put the market up.
That's what's gonna help it find support, even if Apple's pulling down. Should find a little bit of support. But if Apple keep pulling down, then it's gonna pull the market down.
It's a giant red one printed right here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the volume behind it. If you're looking at the reverse candlesticks, it's like they both about to produce 3 engulfing candlesticks. The first red candlestick pushing down to 410.66 got engulfed by that green one, and now this green one's about to get engulfed by another red one. That's real flip-flop action. I know that's some kind of chart pattern for sure, because there's 1,000 chart patterns. I'm pretty sure that's one of them. All right. Applied digital shares rise 30%. What'd you say?
No, I said I followed a couple that gaming projects that use Unreal Engine.
Yeah, nah, there's a few of them. I know Mortal Kombat is one.
I told you they didn't open up on Coinbase automatically.
The what?
Mortal Kombat, you said?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat uses Unreal Engine.
Mortal Kombat uses Unreal Engine?
Yeah, that's what they use for their games. That's how I know about them.
I never knew that. Yeah. They need to come up with some motherfucking games for the Oculus using Unreal Engine.
The Metaverse project I'm invested in uses Unreal Engine. The Troverse.
It's a crypto project?
Yeah, it's an NFT project. It's like one of those.
Troverse? Oh,
yeah. They use Unreal Engine to make their planets and design their environments. That's why I'm like, oh, this thing's gonna be fire when it comes out. Once it finally plays and you play, it's very playable. I know it's gonna be good. Applied Digital. Let me look at their weekly chart. What was Applied Digital at before? Applied Digital has been in this consolidation for a long time. Since June 2022. It could potentially have a breakout. Let's put a level in on it. Right here. With the previous high. I don't sleep on anything. I'm not adding them to the watch list though. Okay. Let's see if SPY could find support at 411.53. If it could break back above that level. Where did Apple go? Oh, here we go. Let's keep going through the news. Let's see what the news has to say. How the fuck do you go back? Let's look at the world. Let's look what the world economy is talking about.
What made it shoot down like that? What the fucking... What came up this morning?
Consumer, core retail sales.
Yeah.
Core retail sales weren't that great. So core retail sales identifies the strength of the consumer. You know how they always been saying the consumer has been so strong, the consumer is strong.
Yeah.
So the core retail sales show the consumer is starting to weaken.
Huh?
So the consumer, that strong consumer they love talking about, is starting to weaken up. Oh, hold on. There's an open AI CEO is saying that there has to be some kind of control on AI.
To mitigate the risks of increasingly powerful models. For example, the U.S. government might consider a combination of licensing and testing requirements for development and release of AI models above a threshold of capabilities.
So look, Altman's idea here is to create these thresholds and barriers for safety around AI and then regulating it from there, giving people licenses to develop this technology once they've proven it is safe under these standards. Didn't get into too many specifics, though. Probably going to happen more during the questioning, which is just now kicking off from the senators. In addition to Sam Altman, though, we have an expert, an NYU professor, Gary Marcus, who's there, and his opening testimony is pretty interesting. He's kind of waving the warning flag here, Sarah, saying, look, there are tons of already bad use cases for the technology that's out there being used today. And so they're basically saying he's happy to hear people like Sam Altman come up here and say, we want to be regulated before it gets out of hand. But he was really painting a dour picture of how this technology can be used. But I will say there's a lot of optimism on the senator side. They do see the benefit of this technology and want the U.S. to be a leader, but they are worried that things can get out of control, kind of like we saw with social media. Carl, I'll send it back over to you.
That's a good analog, Steve. Thank you. Although maybe a lot more impactful this time, Steve.
So, I think he just wants to quell the competition, if you ask me. I think that ultimately what it comes down to is suppressing the competition. Like, we came out with OpenAI, ChatGPT, and we didn't think competition would rise this fast, and other people will come out with other AI technologies that will compete with us so quickly. That's what it really sounds like. But I could be wrong. It could be. I think there are a lot of dangers in AI, but there was a lot of dangers with the internet. There was a lot of dangers with social media, like they said. You know, I think that just comes with new technology.
You know, Bard update got voice prompts.
Who?
Bard.
Let me look at this Bard. I haven't even seen Bard. When I go on Google, I don't see anything about Bard.
I keep seeing mad people say Bard, and Bard don't flew past ChatGPT. That's why OpenAI. I'm probably opening his mouth like, hey, we need to chill.
Yeah, we need to set some regulations. We gotta get some kind of government regulation in here. Like, yeah.
We fucking with Terminator.
Yeah, this Bard shit is too much.
Yeah, nothing to say about a week ago before the update.
Nah, they ain't said nothing. They were okay. Only
niggas done quit jobs.
All kind of shit because of AI.
All types of things, say nothing. Update, hold on, y'all boy.
Yeah, people out here committing suicide, all kind of shit. Okay, look at Bard. I'm about to bookmark this. This is going to be my other bookmark. Bard and ChatGPT. I was using ChatGPT this morning.
You know about CCNA, Compassion, A+, and all that?
Nah, what is that?
Coding certifications.
What is it called? The what?
Coding certifications.
Which one you just said?
Like coding or IIT certification.
Yeah, which one did you just say?
Compassion, A+, CCNA.
Nah, I'm just doing the Python course right now. I haven't even looked at any of those yet. I'm just doing the Python coding. Python is like the main program that is used for coding, so I'm going through learning the basics of Python coding first.
Yeah, it's some. So man, the course just put me into this shit. Like, it's some courses you can take from home or online and shit. But once you got these certifications, you get a job that pays 6 figures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He said it's kind of hard. But the fact is, the thing is, I know mad hood niggas, but they ain't gonna lie, they're pretty smart hood niggas though. That went through the program or is going through the program, and that shit you can do on your own comfortability, bro.
Send me the names of those certificates. Text those names to me, so I could look into them. Yeah, send those names to me. I got Bard and ChatGPT open next to each other. This is crazy. I feel like I have so much power. Oh man, don't look like Spot trying to reject so hard off this stuff.
It's a Bard much better structured.
Much better with what?
Creative. Much better with prompts. It's much more creative. Gives better output.
All right, let me ask it a question. I asked ChatGPT. Let me see.
I just probably want to learn that shit for the fun of it, like for myself, just to, this new world we're going to see type shit.
Bruh, it's not even for the fun of it. It's necessary. Like, you're gonna have to know this stuff. Like, you're gonna be able to survive without knowing this stuff in our lifetime, but you're not gonna be able to excel at the rate everyone else is accelerating at that knows this stuff and understands this. It's gonna be hard to figure out, like, damn, how are they getting this stuff done so fast? If you don't understand AI and have it assist you in completing certain things. Like, for you, I would try to figure out how AI can help you, find things that are involved in manufacturing of clothing. Like, if you have any questions related to that business, and how it could help you in that way. Or if anything, as far as the vending machine industry, how it could help you make that business more efficient for yourself. Like, but you gotta think of the questions, because you could think of the frame of the concept that you need help with, but now you gotta formulate the questions you want to ask. And you can start with basic questions and it get more advanced as you go down the pipeline. But I just say just start talking to it. Start talking to the thing. I was trying to get ChatGPT to make me my own specialized stock indicator. Something like a Caleb zone. You know what I'm saying? Because the AI could create you stock indicators like that. All right, let's see how these calls are looking right now. We was down earlier. We coming back now. We finding that support. That's why I said earlier. If we was going to pull back, we would have pulled back earlier when we started that crazy drop. It would have happened. It would have went through that 410.66 level. The fact that it didn't break 410.66 let me know that we was going to bounce back up. I may have gotten a little too early, but it's okay. How much are these contracts? 130. All I know is my Microsoft holdings is looking nice right now. Microsoft is looking beautiful. The long-term holding. As soon as I have another question, I'm gonna type it in A. I'm closing Google. I'm not using Google anymore. I'm only using ChatGPT and Bard. That's gonna be it. I'm not using regular Google anymore. For real, I'm not. I'm not gonna use regular Google anymore. ChatGPT or Bard. That's it. Okay, look at us pushing off now. Now we taking off. Can we break the bottom of this Caleb zone though? Are we going to break 412.10? Because we keep rejecting off of that level. We rejected it twice. Pretty heavy at that. I need Apple to break above 172. 173. I need Apple to break back above 173. Let's look at the news. Remember we was talking about Home Depot yesterday?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Home Depot stock price was dropping. It said lumber deflation hurt sales, and the fact that Home Depot is dropping like that gives me an idea that tomorrow's building permits report is going to be lower than expected. And because Home Depot gives you a look inside.
Why is lumber deflating?
Lumber deflation. Let me see.
Home Depot. More shit. They cut a shitload. Overstock.
People, because lumber is probably deflating because people aren't building as much. It says our sales for the quarter were below.
I think it got something to do with that immigration shit.
Has to do something with what?
That immigration shit. A lot of shit. Load of motherfucking construction projects just halted in the country.
I heard about that. What did they do in that immigration deal? What's going on with that?
Making it illegal for you to hire illegal immigrants to work on your construction.
Oh, so if they come on your site, if they come on your work site and they find people that aren't American citizens, then you probably get crazy fines for that now.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Reject it.
Yeah, it's trying to reject hard right there. I think this candlestick gonna be the one. If there's gonna be candlestick to push it up, it gotta be this one right here. But the MACD, as you look on the 15, yeah, exactly. It just keeps pushing up. So it keep making higher lows. So I'm good with that. I learned to be more patient with the plays I'm in, especially if I see a reverse play happen, like that reverse candlestick. I reversed out of a put into a call because I saw the MACD getting stronger to the upside, and I saw other stocks starting to push up. If I was to try to jump back into a put because I saw that one rejection, then I'm playing against the now I'm starting to play against the MACD and the general sentiment that I see other companies doing, like Microsoft, Apple. They're starting to get ready to start kind of push up a little bit. So I don't like fighting that. I just like going with the flow. Go with the momentum. Go with the flow. Let it rock. If you looked at the daily momentum, was starting to get much weaker. Yesterday it was pushing up, and today we had a rejection. So I think we could get back up to like at least. I think we should be able to get back up to at least 412.60 today. That's what I'm looking for. So we gotta see what happens in these next two candlesticks. We'll know by 11:30. I feel like. Apple has to find some support. Let me pull up the heat map. Bitcoin down today. Ethereum pretty neutral. Binance coin. I gotta look at the news for Binance because Binance is going through some shit right now. That question we just asked, why is lumber deflating? I don't know. Let me ask Bard. Let's see if Bard is up to date or if Bard is only up to 2021.
They say Bard has internet access unlike real-time internet access unlike ChatGPT.
Okay. All right. There are a few reasons why lumber prices are deflating right now. Increased production, declining demand, weaker economic outlook. Those are the three main reasons Bard just gave me. Oh, look at Bard answered fast, boy. Bard answered fast. And then you have an option at the bottom after the answer to say if you want to Google it or not. You see, that's the thing with the first movers advantage. Microsoft came in with the first movers advantage, but other people that come after now are going to have the ability to make something better based off of what you put out and what they already have. Google is the king of search. So you got to know that they're not going to give up that title easily. Everybody knew they were coming back with some kind of AI AI like ChatGPT was going to come out for them. Everybody understood that. If you look at Google now, Google's probably at this one of its price. Yeah, it's at 120. Look at Google, man, pushing. Google's up 20% in like the last couple weeks. Yeah, Google's up 20% in the last 2 weeks. Google last week was open the week at 105. Right now it's at 119. It might be good to play some calls on Google, honestly. I'm not going to lie. Let me look at the Google contracts. Come on, SPY. Break above this resistance. Stop playing. Let me look at the Google options. You ever trade options on Google?
Yeah. But not often.
They have some nice spreads on them.
They do. I played early.
Some of these 3-day contracts on Google have gone up 200% today. Today they have gone up 200%, bro.
That's crazy.
The 120 contracts on Google up 193%.
That bar, nigga.
That barred, man. They opened up today. The contracts this morning were at 0.47, and right now they're at 0.95. Oh man, that was the play. But I can only trade symbols outside of the SPY. I can only trade symbols outside of the SPY if it's on news like this, like you said with the barred stuff and stuff like that. That's the only way I could trade outside of SPY. Because outside of that, the price movement on some of these other stocks is really iffy. You don't really know. I need IIPR to get back over 70.
Yeah, that bitch struggling.
It is. I'm struggling to get back over 70. Damn, Google. Look at Google. I got some levels in on Google too. The next level I have up for Google is at 130.37. That's the next level up I have. Yeah. Let me pull up the weekly chart for Google. Last time Google was at this price was August of 2022. Was the last time Google was at 119. And it was in consolidation while it was in this price range. So Google could enter a consolidation here, so we got to be careful. It could top out at like 123 and start consolidating. Let me put a level in right here.
I was trading that shit when it was around $89.
Sheesh. Imagine holding on to that. You should have added them to the long term, boy. I say at least 70% of whatever you're willing to put into the market, bro, use it to buy some long-term positions and use that other 30% to do option trading with. The SPY is struggling a little bit here, but I think it's going to ultimately push up. And we are going to look for the take profit. Take profit, we're going to say is at 413 take profit, and 410.66 stop loss. 413 take profit. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be my take profit area. I think we could push up there if we're going to push. I think if we're going to push today, we're going to break that Caleb zone. We're going to push to the top of it at least. Because that's right where my next resistance level is at. SPY 413 call. Sorry. Forgot to put the price in. Alright. That alert is in there. The people have been alerted. All I need is positive candlestick volume close. If we close above 411.53 on this candlestick, I'm good with that. I just don't want to close below it again, because then that's just too sideways for me. But 411.53, we should break above that. Damn, Google. Now I see how good Bard works. Now I understand. No, I'm just kidding. Let me ask GPT. Let me ask ChatGPT the same thing. Damn. You got to get the new ChatGPT to compete with Bard. Let's see. They want $20 a month. They want $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus. I ain't doing that. Not yet. Let's see what they're talking about back on the news. Now I mean to click on Twitter. Okay. Let's go down the stock list. And look at Home Depot. It took a nice little bounce. It pulled back, but it bounced back up. Maybe catching that support at 288. IIPR, my babies, consolidate in. Come on. You could break out. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, IIPR. Break the $71 level and start working your way back up to $81. Alright, we got Microsoft turning green, Google green on the heat map. Now Apple is the only one left. Come on, Apple. Pull the SPY back up. Alright, 411.66. That's a good space to be in.
Pausing, not saying they're done, but pausing to see what happens and be data dependent is the right thing to do.
Yeah, we'll see. Some of these year-on-year numbers on CPI next month might get pretty interesting if you look at where we were a year ago. Alan, great discussion. It's great to see you again. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it very much.
Very nice to see you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Alan. Still to come, On Running, the shoe brand. backed by Roger Federer, has exploded in popularity, and so has the stock. Take a look. Shares up close to 90% so far this year. The co-CEOs join us next following some new results this morning.
And, of course, don't miss Elon Musk on CNBC tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, with our own David Faber in the wake of their annual shareholder meeting happening later today. We'll talk some Twitter, SpaceX, China, macro, AI, and a lot more, of course. Don't go away.
How does Little Caesars know when to bring back pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a science. Do something.
Come on.
What you say? It's what? Rejected hard? Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the chart now. Damn, we closed that candlestick under 411.53 again, bro. What the hell? We were just above it. Literally at 11:14. We were above at 411.53. And I went away from the screen for 1 minute, come back. Now the candlestick closes below it. That's crazy. This is very sideways right here at this 411.53 level. But like I said, the momentum is still pushing up. I'm going to rock with the momentum. And let me see one more indicator. The volume is coming in more favor to the upside over the last few candlesticks. If you look, that big red candlestick we had, the most recent one, was negative 116,000 in net volume. And then we had negative 83,000 in net volume. After that, then it was positive 45,000 on this last candlestick, even though it closed reddish. And this candlestick is right now just sell orders in right now, so I'm not really, it's still really early, it's just 1 minute in. So if this candlestick closes with positive volume on it, more than 45,000, then that's a positive sign that we're gonna keep pushing up. Keeping an eye on that volume, man. Let me see something. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. All right, I'm about to bring y'all some Trust Fund Tuesday information. This is the document archive. Going through here, let's put the news back on.
It's good to see both of you. Good morning. So Mark.
Thanks for having us.
Not a lot of other retailers reporting 78% sales growth. What are you seeing from the consumer right now?
Yeah, we're very, very happy with our Q1 results. The demand for the brand is super strong. We just launched a new cloud surfer, which was the biggest launch ever.
Yeah, fix your microphone, bro.
On the pre-orders that we have in the accounts for Q2, Q3, Q4. So really, really positive news.
Some more in a casual environment, but more and more are also using the products in an everyday environment. But it's all about movement, and this is what we are for. We want to inspire the human spirit through movement.
But I mean, Nike has dominated in the running category lately. I have to think that this is making a dent. Does the competitive environment impact you right now, or are you continuing to see these signs of very strong demand?
Hey, we're trying to bring amazing, superior product to the market. So we just had Helen Obiri winning Boston Marathon. We have some of the best tennis players, the world #1. We won a couple of
focus on today in the Medicaid trust.
We very much feel we're proving that our product is very, very strong, is also very, very sustainable. And this resonates with the consumers. This allows us to grow on such a strong rate across the board, and that's what we're focusing on.
We're seeing especially strong growth in the wholesale business in North America. And it's interesting because that's not a point of strength for a lot of the other brands out there. What do you think is driving that? What are you seeing from the orders and also from the promotional side of things right now?
So what we see with our retail partners is that they also see a very strong demand for the on-brand. So be this at Dick's, be this at JD, at Foot Locker, at Fleet Feet, as met many of the run specialty accounts. We see the general environment being discounted, but On is a brand that focus on premiumness, on full price sales, and this is where we continue to drive. We selectively expand our presence in wholesale. So
that is how I remember it being explained. Just wanted to refresh my memory on the Medicaid trust, but this is what it is.
And talking to the right consumer, and this is what we do on a global scale.
Mark, I'm curious where your head is right now on inventory management, because we've seen some high-profile examples where companies obviously were saddled with too much, but others who stepped on the gas and ended up selling quite a bit, and it led to volume. How are you planning for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so for us, what's very, very important is that we can capture the demand that's out there with new products. So we have inventory growth, but it's fresh product, and that product will allow us to also capitalize on, potentially even higher sales than what we currently guided. So this is what we're looking at, and we have to be, clear that part of why the inventory is a bit higher is that the factories have caught up very, very quickly. Transit times on the trade lanes, on the ships have come down, and this is what you're basically seeing reflected in the inventory. But we are really, really not worried about it, because it will allow us to capture on the demand, and it's fresh products.
I mean, obviously very high growth rates, but we still should put in perspective small relative to some of the bigger competitors in terms of revenues. 420 million was the quarterly revenue in Swiss francs. How big can this business be? How do you think about that?
So we have built a global brand, and I think this is important to know. So we are growing really across the globe. At the same time, we are still at the very beginning in some big markets like China, but also in Latin America, in the Middle East. We're at the very beginning, also in many European markets. And then we have started really in running. We have moved over into outdoor. Now we started tennis. So we keep on adding more customer groups that we want to talk to. And again, for the past years, we have seen a lot of strong growth every quarter, and this is what we are focusing on durable growth. We also want to grow, and have proven this again in the first quarter in a profitable way, both with a very strong gross profit margin as well as a high EBITDA margin.
And finally, how do you make sure that it's not just, a fad? Like we have seen with some of these other brands. I'm looking at the stock of Allbirds since it went public, and it's been a huge disappointment for investors. It used to be a much more popular shoe. How do you keep the brand momentum and the brand heat and the brand awareness going without fizzling out?
From the beginning, we've been very focused on bringing product innovation to the market. And so we very much believe if we're able to continue to innovate on the product, to make the product even more sustainable, to make runners faster, have them go longer, to enable tennis players to win Grand Slams, this will translate. And we're basically doing this innovation together with a very, very accessible design. That's what we've been doing for the last 13 years, and this is what we'll continue to do. And this will also ensure that it's not a fad, but it's a long-term, durable growth story.
Mark, Martin, appreciate the time today. Thank you both very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Co-CEOs of
All right, I couldn't describe this.
An amazing stock story lately.
Coming up later this hour, a generational opportunity in fixed income. Marathon Asset Management's Bruce Richards will join us with his...
Let's pause this. All right, let me go over. Hold on. All right. Huh? You see it, right? It's crazy. How it's just these wicks look wild to me. Like these wicks are wild. Yeah, you get to know how she walk, how she groove, how she moves. You learn when things are off a little bit, when something is not right. If this candlestick don't close above 411.53, then I'm out my calls. This candlestick right here has to close above for me, bro. The other two candlesticks are too close to it. Hold on, just keep your joint muted for like 2 minutes. I'm about to record this Trust Fund Tuesday video. Alright. So, welcome. Oh, let me make sure my video looks right. Okay. Push this up a little bit. Alright, there we go. Medicaid asset protection. Let's pull this up a little bit. Let's center this down. Right about there. All right, so this is the trust we're talking about this week, the Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. Welcome to Trust Fund Tuesdays, everybody. This week, I want to inform you about protecting the people in your family who may not be able to take care of themselves or have disabilities, or once some assets are going to be passed to them, they're no longer going to qualify for receiving government benefits like Medicaid. There is a way around that, though. If you have a family member right now that you want to leave some assets to in your trust, you can do that even if they're disabled and able to care for themselves without worrying about them losing their Medicaid coverage. The way you do that is with the Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. Now, the assets that you place inside this trust, this is an irrevocable trust, meaning it cannot be changed or canceled. And the assets that you put in this trust that you're passing along to this particular beneficiary, which will be the person in your family who currently receives Medicaid, or you may be concerned they're going to need Medicaid in the future, you give them the assets in this Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. What this does is keeps the assets, the value of the assets within the Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, so that is not included into the person's net worth, the beneficiary's net worth. So a good example of this, it would be somebody who is in your family who you know is ill or is becoming ill, and you know that with their general income and things that they have underneath their own ownership, they qualify for Medicaid because they don't make over the limit. But once they inherit, anything that you're leaving to them in the trust is going to put them over the requirement limit. I mean, the income limit, the asset ownership limit, they're going to have too much ownership in assets, and that will disqualify them from the Medicaid program, and they're not going to be able to receive Medicaid. You want to pass on the assets to them in this Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. Now, with the Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, there is a look-back period of 60 months in most states and 30 months in California, and New York doesn't have any look-back period yet, but they're going to create one in March of, I believe, next year. And what the look-back period says is that you cannot have look to give your significant person this Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. You can't look to implement this if it hasn't been 60 months before they applied to receive Medicaid, or 60 months hasn't passed since this trust was established. That's the look-back period. So if this trust was established within the last 12 months and you try to apply to get this person Medicaid, or just say the assets are passed on to them, someone passes away, they receive assets, and now you're trying to apply to help them get Medicaid because their day-to-day living, they don't make enough income to cover medical expenses, Medicaid will deny you because they're going to say in the last 12 months you've established this Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, and that's where majority of their assets were placed, and that's the only reason why they don't. That's the only reason why they can qualify for Medicaid. I know it's kind of messed up, it's crazy, but I can understand why they're trying to close up certain loopholes. So I say get this done as soon as possible for any elder in your family or anybody you know that is going to maybe be inheriting some assets that are currently or maybe need to be on Medicaid. I could think of a few family members myself that this trust would be good for, but establish it the earlier the better so you don't have to worry about that look back period. All right? All right, everybody. All right. Back to the trading. All right, G, you good, man. Look at that. We closed above 411.53. Let's go. We pushing up. Back to the bottom of the Caleb zone. Look at IIPR at $70 now. Let's go. We're looking good. Let's see what these option contracts are looking like. Option contracts ain't really moved too much. Because all this chopping action is killing is killing me right now. I needed to push. Honestly, I need to go back to 412.60. We could retest that 412.60 area. That would be beautiful. That's what I'm really looking for. Well, that's it for the streaming this week. I'm going to shut down my streams. Thank you, everybody, for who came through and joined. I will be streaming again towards the end of this week, either Thursday or Friday. But if you're in the Discord, you'll be alerted. So keep your eyes out for the alerts. And everybody else, make sure you turn on the alerts for the YouTube channel or for my Twitch channel and be in here whenever we're streaming and trading. Because as you see, we can make some money. We got the calls in today. They're kind of neutral right now, but keep your eye on the market. If we get anywhere near this 412.60, you know we made money today. All right? All right, everybody.